It was the most gut-wrenching sound that I'd ever heard in my life. When I was about 13 years old, it was the middle of summer, and I was at a sleepover at my friend Matt's house. Matt had a fairly large house with an even larger backyard. His parents were away for the weekend, so it was just him, me, and 3 other friends. We'd spent the whole day playing video games and swimming in his pool until we were bored out of our minds. And it was then that we decided to go to his attic for the first time that night. The attic was fairly creepy. It was filled with all kinds of junk from floor to ceiling. There was cobwebs everywhere, old broken furniture, and even a taxidermy raccoon sitting in the corner staring blankly ahead with its beady little eyes. The air in there was stagnant and smelled like mildew. You couldn't see any of the walls because they were covered in such thick layers of dust. You could barely make out the shape of the door in front of us. "Who wants to play hide-and-seek?" asked Matt. All of us said yes, and he started counting. Almost immediately after he started counting, one of our other friends, Joe, started to run around screaming and making all kinds of wild hand movements. "Boo! Ha, come and get me." He was acting crazy. It was almost like he was having some kind of seizure or something. Now, normally when someone screams in a horror movie right before something terrifying happens, I always yell at them to stop being so stupid and ruining the suspense. But in this case, no one was around, and I was genuinely terrified. All of a sudden, the lights flickered and went out, plunging us into total darkness. Panicked, I tried to find the door in the pitch-black room, but I couldn't find it, and I started to hear what sounded like a woman crying. At first it was very quiet, but it grew louder and more anguished. Then it seemed to be coming closer. I don't remember exactly what it sounded like. If I had to try to describe it, I would say it sounded like nails on a chalkboard mixed with the sound of someone being strangled slowly. It was horrible. Then I heard footsteps near the door. Someone or something was making its way closer to where I was. As the footsteps drew closer, I started to panic. I could unfind the door in the darkness, and now whatever was out there was getting closer and closer. I started to feel my way around in the darkness trying to find the door when suddenly the light turned back on. I looked over and saw that the others had made it out okay, but Joe was missing. "Where's Joe?" asked my voice shaking. "I don't know," replied Matt, his face pale. "He was right behind me a second ago, but now he's gone." We all started calling out for Joe, but there was no reply. We called out for him for a few minutes, until Matt suggested that we should probably check the rest of the house to see if he went somewhere else. We found him in his closet. Relief washed over me. I was so relieved to find out that he had been taken by whatever the hell was in that attic. After we found him, none of us wanted to go back to that attic ever again. We didn't find out until the next morning that he had simply hidden himself in the closet and made the whole thing up. However, there was still something weird going on in that attic. Later that morning, while the rest of the guys were downstairs playing video games, I decided to go back to that attic to retrieve my action figure that I left up there. When I got up there, I was a lot less scared than I was the night before. My imagination had gotten the better of me. There was no way that there was anything up there that could have gotten me, I told myself. As I made my way through the junk, I started to hear that same sound again. It was very quiet at first, but then it started to grow louder and angrier. I ran over to the door, threw it open, and ran downstairs as fast as I could. When I got down there, I told the others what I heard. They all kind of laughed at me. "Big chicken," said Matt. "There's nothing up there to get you." "Go on, go back up there and get your toy." But I didn't want to go back up there. I think whatever was in that attic doesn't like it when people are up there. Later that day, I finally convinced the others to go up there with me. We searched all over the place, but we couldn't find anything that could have made that sound. Even weirder, though, we noticed a lot of things that weren't there the day before. One of these things was a rocking chair that wasn't there before. It was sitting in the corner near where the taxidermy raccoon was. Then we heard it again, that same gut-wrenching sound. This time, it sounded like it was right outside the attic door. I swear I felt my heart stop beating for a moment. Then it stopped. Oh, maybe it was just the house settling, I don't know. But when I went back up there a couple of days later to get my things, I heard that same sound again. I never went back up there after that. Maybe it was just the house settling, I don't know. But after that, whenever I heard that sound, I knew that I was in danger,